Hey, what's up everybody? Brian here with the Holy Roller playing craps on a cruise to earn a free cruise. And today we're going to roll out a strategy with $1,500 bankroll. It is called Promise Keeper. Here we go.
Welcome to the Holy Roller, where it's all about playing craps, earning free cruises, and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching. Now let's get rolling.
All right, now this is called Promise Keeper because you're going to promise yourself that you're going to keep your bankroll, your $1,500. You're going to promise yourself you're going to keep it if you get it back, but it's called Promise Keeper, and this is how it goes. Pretty much, it's going to be 150, okay? 150. Now, 110 inside is a good start, right? And then you're going to do $15 on the 4 and the 10, okay? And you might say, okay, that is 110 plus 120, 130, 140. You have $1,500. Is there something else? Yes, there's 10 more dollars because you're going to do 150 per shooter for 10 shooters. Now, if you're rolling the dice, you'll use the $10 on the pass line. If you're not rolling the dice, you'll use the $10 on the hard 4 and hard 10. Now, it's going to be a regression system, like a double tap almost, because what you're going to do is you're going to press the 4 and 10 together, the 5 and 9 together, and the 6 and 8 together. So if one of them hit, you press both. So I'll show you how it goes in the live rollout. However, the $15 on the 4 and 10 pays $27. You're going to buy both of them for a quarter each and put the hard way back if the hard way falls. Now, on the 5 and 9, you're going to press both of them and make them look like 35 each, and then you'll collect the difference. Then on the 6 and 8, you're going to make them look like 42 each if 1 6 or 1 8 hit. Once you get a double hit on any one of them that are pressed, you regress back down to this system right here, to this layout, to this amount. And you have to promise yourself that you're going to do it, and so that you can keep your bankroll, okay? So let's roll it out and see how it goes. Have you got your dice tracker yet? Make sure to get one of these. Go to holyroller.com or check the link in the description. This is able to track not only your bankroll, but your points towards a free cruise, among other things. So make sure to grab one of these. Now let's get back to it. All right, I already took the 150 out of the bankroll right here, and we're gonna assume we're not the shooter this time. So let's go ahead and pick some dice, and we'll go ahead and have a come out roll. Now we're not working. You could go out and say up and off, or you could just wait for a point to be established and then go out with your 150. All right, here we go. And that is a 10. So the point is 10, and we weren't working on any of our bets, not even our hard ways. Usually I always work the hard ways, but in this system, I promised myself I would not work the hard ways. All right, now our bets are working and it's time for the second roll. Let's see what we hit. Here we go. And it is a yo 11. No change for us. It's a yo 11. Here we go. And it is a 6, hard 6. Now we're only doing the hard 4 and hard 10 because there are 3 ways to make a 4 and 10, and one of those combinations is the hard way. So we're just doing the higher probability. You might say, no, I thought a hard way is all the same probability, but if you see a 4 or 10, it's only going to come 2 ways. It's either going to be the 1-3 or 3-1, right? Or it's going to be the hard way. So really there's 3 combinations, but you're only going to see it 2 ways. Same thing with the hard 10. Now that 6 pays $35, just like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring $11 back to our rack because we're going to press this by 24 or 12 each. Okay, so $12. So what I would do is I would say after a 6 or an 8 hit, I would say make the 6 and 8 both look like 42 each. Then they'll give me $11 and I'll rack it. Okay, now promise yourself you're gonna rack it. Now, if a 6 or 8 hit, we go back down. If a 5 or 9 or 4 or 10 hit, we press both of them just like we did these. Okay, here we go. Next roll. And it's a 9. So it's a 9, and that pays $35 just like the other one. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to get that like this because we're going to ask them to press the 5 and 9, make them both look like 35, okay? And this right here, now press means double, so you want to say, make my 5 and 9 look like 35 each, and then they will give you $15. Now remember, you have to promise yourself that when one of these hit, you're going to keep all of your profit, which means you're going to regress back down, okay? Here we go, next roll, let's see what happens. And it is a 3, no change for us. Here we go, let's get a 5, 6, 8, or 9. And then it is, a 7 out. Well, you did want to promise yourself you were going to lock up something. We invested $150 and we got $26 out of that investment. Well, that could be like the stock market right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to say all this falls. And so in order for, now normally it would all come down and then you'd have to go back up. But what I'm doing is I'm just taking the pressure money, bringing it back to 150, and then I'm gonna pull 150 out of the rack here, $150. Here's time for the second shooter. And so let's see if this system works, you know? And I think it will. It has worked before and it will work today. Watch this, because here we go. We're assuming that we're not the shooter one more time. We'll be the shooter next time. How about that? And then this $10 will go right there on the pass line. All right, we're not working, coming out roll. Let's see what it is. It's a 5. A 5, 3, 2, 5, and the point is 5. Now we're working. Here we go. Let's see what happens. And it's a 9. All right, a 9. Now what that does, and I'm gonna go ahead and pay with the $35 like this, because I'm gonna say press my 5 and 9, make them both look like, now you don't want to say too many words when you're talking to the dealers. So you could just say, after the 9 hit, when it's your turn, you just say 5 and 9 look like 35 each. And then they'll give you 15 back, okay? So let's go ahead and rack that 15. I'm gonna put this right up here for the first shooter. We're gonna start our second shooter rack right here and see if we could bring back all that we invested in. Okay, now here comes another roll, here we go. And it is a 6, and you know with a 6, we're gonna get $11 back to our rack. So as simple as that, I'm just going to say 6 and 8 look like 42 each. And then they're gonna give me $11 back to my rack, okay? And then they're gonna make those look like 42 each, okay? So they're gonna put $12 more on the 6 and the 8. There we go. And now here we go. We need one of those inside numbers to hit, and then we're regressing all the way back down. Let's see what happens. And it is a 6, back to back with the 6. Now what they're gonna do is they're gonna say, give me $1, okay? Now they could take the $1 from here because you're gonna regress back down, right? So what you would say in this situation is just give them the $1. Like we have $1 here, so we're just gonna give them the $1. They're gonna give us 50 for 1, okay? Then you'll say, take my inside down to 110, okay? And what they'll do is they'll just take all of the pressure that we just put on there, they'll take it off, and then we're gonna bring back all of this to our rack. Now, let's see how much we brought back from this as well. We're going to do 25, 50, and so let's get some greens for this, just so you can see what we're bringing back to our rack. We're bringing back $119, okay? So pretty close, right? Pretty close, but remember our last shooter, we didn't get a lot back. So let's go ahead and put this in our rack. And now we're gonna repeat the process. Now we haven't got a 4 or 10 yet, so I'll show you what happens if that hits. But we did get 2 6s. Now, what do? We just repeat the process. Promise yourself that you're gonna rack it. Be a promise keeper. Keep your promises to yourself when you're at the table. There's a 5, winner 5. Now you might say, wait a minute, you just took it down and now it's only $35. Well, yeah, it's $35, and we're gonna press the 5 and 9, 1 unit each, right? No, sorry, not 1 unit each. I sometimes even get mixed up. When I press, I go from 25 to 35. That's my press. Like I don't do anything else. So when I say 1 unit, I mean a unit of 10, but they would probably only add $5. So again, make my 5 and 9 look like 35 each. I'm gonna bring 15 back to my rack. All right, the puck is off, and it's a new, same shooter, new come out roll. Here we go. and it is an 8. So the point is 8. We weren't working on any of our bets, but now we are. So the 5 and 9 are working for us. Here we go. Let's see what happens. And it is a 7, 7 out. Now, let's see how much, because I have all of it right here. Let's see how much we got back for our shooter. And it is 125, $39, 139. So we didn't get out of that hand as well. And this is why you have to promise yourself that you're gonna get out of the hand, okay? You wanna protect your bankroll. Now we'll have a long roll where we'll get out of the hand and where we'll start collecting and we'll earn a lot of that back. It will happen as long as we're here for our 10 shooters. And another thing you could do with the bankroll is you can just set it up in $150 stacks. For example, say if I had the four green chips, right? And then there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I would get 10 of the red chips, and I can make my bankroll look like this, and I could just have 150 stacked with greens and reds, greens and reds, greens and reds, and then I could just give it to them every time. So being that this is the setup, I'm gonna go ahead and take the greens and reds, the 150, and say same action. And whenever you bet, always bet on the line. If you bet here, they might think it's a field. If you bet here, they might think it's a come bet. So having it on the line will ensure that they will not pass the dice and let the dice roll without the bet being set. Sometimes if you go like this, or you're here, they say, hey, you can't do that bet after the puck. You can only bet the don't pass when the puck is off. If you put it down here and you say, give me and they don't hear you in the dice roll, then this will be locked here. So always put it on a line. If you're over here, put it on a line here or a line here. Always put your bets on a line so that it's set before the roll, okay? So there's our 150. Give me 150 action. By this time, they will know your action and what you'd like, so they'll set it up for you. And this time we're the shooter. So we're actually not gonna have the hard way. We're gonna go on the pass line for $10. So we're the shooter this time. Here we go. Let's roll and see what happens. The only one that's working is this. 7-11 win, 2-3-12 lose. If it's any of those, that becomes the point. Here we go, let's see what happens. And it is a 6. So the point is 6. And we're gonna go ahead and leave our 6 here, and this, we're really just playing this so that we can roll the dice. I always recommend to only play the pass line if you're rolling the dice, and on a cruise, it's single odds a lot of times, so it doesn't make sense to play pass line with odds because you always get paid more for betting the number. However, if you are rolling the dice, then just do a pass line. I would not do any odds because single odds, you can only do $10 back here. You can't put 30 back here, so you could put 30 there. That's how you get around the single odds. Plus, odds don't get any comp value for a free cruise, and out here you get comp value for a free cruise. So that's why we play it like that instead of the traditional way. All right, here we go. Our points are on. We don't have the hard ways, but that's okay. Let's see what our roll is. And it is a 4, right when we were talking. The hard 4 would have fell, but I'm gonna show you what happens here. This pays $27, a $15 4, 10 pays 27. What you're gonna say is you're gonna say, make them both look like 25 each. Buy the 4 and 10 for 25 each. That's gonna cost a VIG or a vigorish or a commission of $1 or 20% for doing that. Sorry, 5%, not 20%. And if it's over $15, you have to pay a VIG upfront on the cruise. We're gonna make them both look like, so 25, $1 for this one, $1 for that one. That goes to the bank, and we're gonna get $5 back. We're gonna go ahead and put it on the hard 4, and then, because we're gonna try to get that going, and then I'm gonna switch this out for a green one, and they will put buy buttons on there. Now the buy buttons pay a little bit different. When it's $15 or less, it pays $9 for every $5. And when it is $20 or above, it pays 2 to 1. So, for example, the $9 for every 5, when we had $15, there was 3 units. So 3 times 9 is 27. Now with this one, it's 2 to 1. So it pays $50, but you have to pay that commission or that VIG of $1. So it pretty much pays, you can think of it as it pays $49. Now, if I take it down, I'm gonna get that dollar back, okay? Just so you know. But let's see what happens because we did press the 4. Let's see if we can get another 4 or 10. Here we go. And it's a 6, hard 6, the point hit. All right, so that's gonna win right here, okay? The puck will go off after they pay. This one, that's gonna pay, we know it pays, it pays 35. However, we're gonna get 11 to go. It's called get 11 to go, which means they're gonna give you 11. That's a total of $21 coming back to our rack because this right here is gonna be $12 each and it's gonna look like 42 each on the 6 and 8. So we'll say, make my 6 and 8 look like 42 each. All right, now the puck is off, these bets are off. This one's working, we're still the shooter, here we go. Let's see what happens, and it is a 6. Back out on the 6. So now we're back out on the 6 and everything's ready and set. Let's go. Let's see if we can get a 4 or 10. There's a 3, nothing changes for us. Here we go. 6 or 8 would be great as well. There's a hard 6, winner, hard 6. Now we're gonna throw in that dollar because what they're gonna do, well, because it's a winner, the first thing they're gonna pay is the pass line. So they're gonna pay $10 on the pass line, then they'll pay the place bets. So we're gonna throw in a dollar. We'll get 50 for 1, okay? And that goes to the bank. And then we're gonna, remember, we made a promise that we're gonna keep our bankroll and we're gonna keep our promises because we're promise keepers, right? We're gonna go back down. So we're gonna say, take it back to the original. Now by this time, hopefully they remember it, but they might not, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna do 25 and 25 right here out of my rack, just so you can see. So what's gonna happen is, so there's 25 and 25, okay? So what's going to happen is they are going to make these 15 again, right? And then I'm going to get $1 back for this one and $1 back for this one. So everything I'm taking to my rack is right here. And because we got the hard 6, we're taking everything down. We're going to leave this one here. We're not going to use this to get a hard 10 because the 10 hasn't even hit yet, okay? So now we're back down. So let's see how much we're bringing back to our rack. Here we go. And there's a green one. So let me get a green for that. So there's 75, 80, 90, looks like 95 here, $96. We're bringing $96 back. Here's 106, 116, like we're almost there, 126, okay? So I could get another green chip there. So there's one, oh, sorry, did I miscount? Oh, here it is, 126. All right, here we go. So now we're gonna bring 126 back to our rack, okay? And it's another come out roll. We're still the shooter. All right, and we regress back down. All right, here we go. And it's a 4. Now, that wasn't working, but it's good that we have the hard 4 and the point is 4. Let's roll, we're all set, let's roll, here we go. And it is, oh, 7 out, 7 out. So this was 3 times that we didn't get our total 150 back. So let's go ahead and we're gonna have that set like that. We'll set that like that because we won't be the shooter. Now, normally they take all this down and then you have to go back up. And what we'll do is we'll just throw in our 150 and we'll say, give me 150, same action for 150. And they'll say, same action, oh, $5 each on the hard 4, hard 10. A good way to say this would be 110 inside, 4 and 10 at 15 each, and the hard ways for 5 each. Like that's a good way to say the 4 and 10 hard ways for 5 each. All right, so there's our 150. And remember we have 1,500, which means we do have 10 shooters. I won't do all 10 shooters for this this system, like this rollout. I'll extend it for the members only. Maybe we'll do a members only video that finishes out the 10 rolls. Because if you're a member, you get extra videos, and so that'll be an extra video. But you'll get the gist. You probably even get the gist of the system right now, of the strategy. So somebody else is shooting right now. Here we go. Let's get them rolling and let's see what they get on a come out. It is an 8. So they're out on the 8 and the point is 8. And now our bets are on and we're ready to roll. Well, we're not rolling, but they are, right? Oh, 7 out, just like that. Now that one, we didn't get anything back. Look, the first one, the second one, the third one. Once you go through your 10 shooters and you see what your bankroll is, you divide that by 10 if you want to keep playing. But you made yourself a promise, right? You're gonna regress and bring back as much as possible after you get that second hit, okay? So now we need another 150. Another 150. Now, some of you might be saying, Brian, what about the light in the darkness? Why don't you hedge this on a don't pass for 150 here and then put 150 there? Well, that's another strategy. That's a way you can play this. It would be light in the darkness, promise keeper style, I guess, maybe. All right, so here we go. What we're gonna do now is we gave our 150. It is another shooter that 0.7'd out, by the way. And so now we are in it again. Let's see, and have a come out roll of 11. Yo, 11, natural, here we go. And another yo, 11, natural, pass line winner for those on the pass. Here we go. And it's a 10. So we're out on the 10. It's a hard 10. We're not working yet, but now we are. The puck is on, the bets are on. Here we go. Now, some casinos, the hard ways are working unless called off, and others, they're off unless called working. If they're working, they'll put an on button. If they're not working, they'll put an off button. But you have to ask and you have to say, are the hard ways working or not? And they usually will say, hard ways working unless called off, or they'll say, hard ways are off unless called working. So you just need to know what kind of table you're on, but we want ours off to follow the puck. So now we're working, even though that was a hard 10, but now we're working. Here we go, let's see what happens. And it's a 6, and we know a 6 is gonna get us $11, right? So we're bringing $11 to our rack. We promised that, and we're gonna keep our promises on that one. And then we're gonna go to, and that's the other thing, you're actually gonna promise yourself that even though you're down, you're still gonna press these bets like this, okay? You're still gonna go to 42 each on the 6 and 8. Here we go. And it's a yo 11. There's the third yo 11, wow. All right, here we go. And it is an 8. All right, we got the 8. What is our promise? We're gonna throw in $1. We're gonna get 50 for 1. And then we're gonna go back down. We're gonna say, take my 6 and 8 to 30 each. And we're gonna bring these back to our rack, okay? So let's bring this back to our rack for this shooter. So here we go with that shooter right there. This is our 5th shooter, even though we have 4 here, but here we go. We're still rolling, here we go. And it's an 8 again. Now you might say, man, what if you would have left it there? Or what if you would have went to 60? Okay, take it easy, take it easy. Once you're up in your bankroll where you have more than $1,500, that's when you could do stuff like that. But right now, we know we're going to get $11, and they're going to make them both look like 42 each. Okay? So promise yourself that you're going to bring that back to the rack and be a promise keeper, right? All right, promise keepers. Here we go. Let's roll. And it's a yo 11, another yo 11 on this roll. All right, here we go. And it's a 9, a 9. Now we know that brings 15 back to our rack. So we're gonna go ahead and bring 15 back to our rack, and these make my 5 and 9 look like 35 each, okay? So let's bring 15 back to the rack. I'm kind of making some change so I could fit this in the rack. There we go. We have $110, 110 back to the rack so far. Here we go. We got some pressure up there. There's the 8. All right. So now we have our money back. Okay. So now here's the variance of the system. Okay. You don't want to go above this level unless you're above your buy-in, your 1,500, right? However, once you get your money back for the shooter, notice that was a 6 and 8, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to throw in 1. We get 50 for 1, and we know we have our 150 for the shooter. So we're going to go down on just the one that hit, okay? We're not going to go down on the 5 and 9 on this time around because we have our 150 for this shooter. Now we're not up totally for the whole bankroll. Okay, there's 25 I'm going to put in there like that, and there's 5 that I'll put like that. So we are up in for this shooter. For this shooter, we're up. But that's why when you're up for the shooter, then you'll leave these here until they hit. So when one hits, usually you take them all down. But for this scenario, once you get your 150 back, you leave the other ones that didn't hit. Let's get a 5 or 9 and then we'll bring those down. Here we go. And it's a 7 out. Wow, wow. Right when we were getting our money back, right? So with that one, let's see how much we got. There's 100, 175, 80, or so, yeah, 180, 183. So we made $33 on that roll, okay, from those, and we would have made more, yeah, if we were up in our bankroll, but we're not up, so we want to just recover, and we promised ourselves we will recover. All right, so I brought this back down to 150, so let's throw in our 150 from our bankroll that we're using. And the idea is you would just use this, and when this is gone, you know, so some of the racks are like this, so you know, normally this would be in one rack and the other rack. This would be the back rack. You only take from your front rack, not your back rack, unless you're throwing in 1 for 50 for 1 or whatever, you know. So, but most of the time, you only take from your front rack. All right, here we go. Another shooter here. We'll be the next shooter, and let's roll and see what happens on this one. Let's get a point established, and it is a 7, natural, frontline winner, and a 4. So the point is 4. So now let's get ready and let's roll. Here we go. And it's an 8, hard 8, that we know that's $11 for us. We say take my 6 and 8 to 42 each. Okay? And sometimes it's better to say that rather than say go up 2 units or whatever. Make them, that's the slang, make it look like 42 each. All right, here we go. And it's a 10, hard 10. Okay, this is the bonus roll. Because yes, we are gonna go to 25 each. We know that it pays $5 difference, okay? So it pays $5, so I'm gonna put that there. We'll have the buy bets on the 4 and 10. Then we get an extra $35, okay? And so we're bringing this back to our rack, okay? Here is another $40 coming back to our rack for this shooter, okay? Here we go, let's roll. And it is a 4, winner, 4, winner, 4. Now the hard 4 does come down, and we throw in $1 for 50, right? For 50. Then we know we're gonna get $2 back when we bring those down. And so once again, I'm bringing these down like this, okay? So these will now look like 15 each, and we're bringing 50, 60, $72 back to our rack. All right, 72, 75, 100. Let me get that, 100 and $122. So we're at $122 back right now. All right, here we go. And we know that was a winner, okay? They're still running, you know what, let's do, instead of 22, let's do 17, because we're gonna go back on our hard 4 just to have the 150 set up. But again, because we're so close, you gotta promise yourself, do we have 150 here? No, we don't. So we have to bring this down as well. All right, so we're bringing this down as well. And let's see where we are. We have, let me get a nickel for that one. And I hope you can see that. I know it's a little bit off camera. But, and then here we'll get a quarter for this one. And so we are 30, 41, $141. So we're almost got our 150. So the next time, let's see what happens. All right, puck is off. Another come out roll. Here we go. And it's a 5. So the point is 5. So now we're going on the 5. And here we go with a roll. And it's a 9. So we know that's $15 to us. $15 coming to us because we're going to make the 5 and 9 look like 32 each. Now, when we do that, we have our 150 back. We're up $6 for this shooter. So now we know that when we press, we don't have to regress, okay? Because I'll show you. Here we go. I'll show you. There's an 8, and that means we get $11, right? Because we're going to go to the $24 pressure, but 12 each. Make my 6 and 8 look like 42 each. Let's bring that $11 back to our rack. See, now we have our money back plus we have the regression. So when we hit, we just regress. If 5 or 9 hit, we just regress the 5 and 9. We leave the 6 and 8. All right, here we go. Or vice versa, if the 6 and 8 hit, there's a 10. So we know we're going up with that. It's an easy 10 that puts our hard 10 back plus gets us our $25 each on the 4 and 10. It's all paid for, and that's how it works. Okay, so we'll throw in $1 if the 4 and 10 hit. Here we go. Let's roll. We got everything pressed, and it's a 5. All right, it's a 5. Now we do have our bankroll back. However, we're not up to our 1,500 because here's 500. Let me see. Here's 500, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're down. We're still down, okay? So we're going to get paid the 1. We're going to throw in 1 for 50, okay? And we're going to go down on our 5 and 9, not the other ones, because we got our 150 back out of this hand, okay? So here we go. We threw in that $1, so there's that. And let's break this in and make this a green as well. We could even make these blacks as well, but right now we're just going to leave it just like that. All right. So here we go. Puck is off. Same shooter coming out. All the bets are off. And it's a 7. Natural. Frontline winner. And there's a 5. So we're back out on the 5. And here we go. Back out on the 5. Let's get a 4, 6, 8, or 10. Yeah? Okay. Here we go. And it's a 4. All right. We got the 4. And because we're here, remember, when we took down the 5 and 9, that's when we actually regressed the 5 and 9 to get to that 150. Now, because we're not at the 1,500, we have to make a choice. Did we promise ourselves that we were going to go back down, or are we going to stay up? Okay? Promise keeper, are you a promise keeper? Because if you are, then you are going back down to the 15 each. Okay? So here we go. We're going back down to the 15 each, and it's going to look like this. And this is how we're going to get to our 1,500 back in our rack, okay? And I know that can be confusing, but it is an easy 4. So we're going to go back up like that, okay? And so we're bringing $17 back to our rack. All right, here's another quarter. All right, here we go. We're still rolling. We regress this. We still have the 6 and 8 there. Let's see if we can hit that. And it's a 9, okay? So we know that we're getting $15, right? We're getting $15 back. The 5 and 9 go to 35 each. Let's bring the 15 back to our rack. Here we go. And it's a 6, hard 6. All right. So we're going to throw in $1, and we know that we get 50 for 1. Okay, 50 for 1 on that. And we're going to promise yourself, we're going to regress. You got to promise yourself. Let me throw in an extra $1 just so I can get a quarter for this. There we go. We're bringing 75 back to our rack on that one. And with that, we have a large profit for this one. So let's keep going because we need to know, and we kind of make a resolution after the roll is completed, like either a point or an out. But we're still rolling, and we got a 5 or 9. Let's get it. And it's a 5, so that's good. And we throw in $1, which we don't really have $1 on this one. So let me get some change. I don't want to pull it from our other stacks. So there's that. And let's throw in $1. That way we know exactly how much we made on each shooter. We know that that's 50 for 1. We're not back to our 1,500 yet, so we're going to regress and bring this back, bringing $70 back to our rack. All right. So I'm gonna just let it bleed onto this lower rack here. So this is still based on this roll right here. Okay. And that's a winner. All right, 150 action again. Here we go. Now, I know some of you might be saying, man, I would have made so much money, way more money than you. But this is the promise. you're promising yourself to get back. It's all about discipline at this point, okay? Think of it more of a system rather than a strategy. This is how I do it, right? This is how we do it. Okay, so point is 8. We're ready. It's on. Here we go. And it's a 5. 5, and we know we're going to get $15, right? And they're both going to look like 35 each. Let's get the $15 back to our rack. Let's make that green one, make that look like that. And we're rolling. Here we go. And it's a 6. Now we know 6 is $11. So we're getting paid 11, and then the 6 and the 8 will look like 42. All right. So let's bring that $11 back to our rack, and let's make this green as well. All right. So here we go. We're still rolling. Let's get it. And there's a 9. 9, and so we know we're going to throw in $1. We're going to get 50 for one, and we're bringing these down. Now you might say, Brian, just press them, just press them. Well, you never know when that bad number's coming, so you don't want to, until you get your 1,500 back, which we're pretty close. Let me see where we're at. We have 11, 12, 13. We're almost there, okay? We're almost there. And you can count it as money that's out here, or you could count it as money that's in your rack, that you have 1,500 here so that all this is free, or you can say this plus that is 1,500. If we were at that case right now, we would be back to 1,500 right now. So we don't necessarily, on our next hit, we could leave the 6 and 8 if we want, because we'll be up in our bankroll. Let's see what happens. And it's an 8, hard 8. And we're gonna throw in $1 there, and then we're gonna get 50 for one. And again, remember, now we have our $1,500 back into our rack, so we know that we can continue to leave these out here and not have to bring them down. Okay, I hope that makes sense. That was a winner. All right, here we go. Coming out, and it's a 9. So the point is 9 this time. And now's the point you've been waiting for. You're up in your bankroll. Now we could have done this on the first hand if we had a good roll. We're up in our bankroll. Now it's time to start pressing, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. All right, here we go. The puck is on, the bets are on, and let's get it. It is a 3. 3, sorry about that. All right, 3 doesn't do anything for us. And a 8, hard 8. All right, now watch this. We're gonna say, take my 6 and 8 to 60 each. So we go from 30 to 42 to 60. Now how they're gonna do that is they're gonna take 1 for 50, right? And then they're gonna make these each look like 60, okay? Then they're gonna give you back $13 to your rack. Now you might say, whoa, I'm only getting 13, but you have a $60 6 and 8. You're treating them the same, you're pressing them together. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. And it's a 7 out. Oh my goodness. Now here's where you said, hey Brian, you should have promised yourself that you were gonna regress after that hit. Now remember, we regress after the hit until we're up in our bankroll, okay? So we made over $500, 550, 60, 566, $566 on that shooter. So that really made up for all the others, because we started with, remember, we started with 150 and we made $566. So a little profit there, just a little, and even more than 1,500 in our bankroll. All right, so here goes another 150, and we're just gonna try it one more time for the video, for this video. And then, so we have the 150 action, and we're the shooter this time. So here we go. Let's be the shooter. And that was a good roll, the last one. Hopefully we can beat that. Here we go. And it is a 5. So the point is 5. So we're out on the 5. Here we go. By this time, you know what you're doing, right? 5, winner 5. So we know we're getting 10 right here, and we're getting 15. So that's $25 win, and we're going up. 5 and 9 look like 35 each. All right, now I need to kind of break this. I'm gonna stack it over here in the corner, stack this in the corner and this in the corner, and then this will be this round right here, this bottom one, okay? All right, so here we go, point, hit, back to back. All right, there we go. Let's get another come out. It's an 8. We're out on the 8. And so now you're kind of seeing how fast the game can go, because it will go fast at times. We know we're ready to throw in $1, right? And remember, the $1, and we'll get 4 change when we throw in that. Sometimes they won't take it. They'll just give us the $49, right? But we know we're going to do 50 for 1, right? And we're going down, back down until we get our 150 back, okay? So here is this, and look, I'll show you. Just like that, we have 75 or 74 coming back to our rack, okay? All right, here we go. Let's roll. Here we go. And it's a 6, and we know a 6 is gonna pay us $11 to our rack, because we're gonna press the 6, make the 6 and 8. If you say press, they might just put everything on the 6, so maybe don't say the word press. Say, make my 6 and 8 look like 42 each. All right, and so that's what they'll do. They'll make the 6 and 8 look like 42 each, because it is 42 each. All right, here we go. And it is a midnight box colors, all the dots and all the spots, and there's a 5. We're out on the 5. We're gonna take $15 for that, because we know that we're going to get the 5. By this time, the dealers would do it automatically for you. And we're almost there. Another quarter coming, so we're $119. Okay, $119. Let's go. And it's a hard 4. Now remember, we're rolling, so we didn't get the hard 4 yet, because the hard 4 or 10 didn't hit yet, but it just hit right now. We know that that's going to buy them automatically, and it's going to give us a hard 4, because it's $5 back to us, but we're going to put it on the hard 4. All right, here we go. And it's a 4 back to back on the 4. Now, remember where we are here? Now watch this. Watch how this works. It is an easy 4, so this is coming down. And then we know we're going to throw in $1, and we're going to get 50 for 1. So we know we got our 150 back, right? We know we got our 150 back. We're going to get our 25 and 25. We're going to get another 22 back by taking these back down. Now, you might say, wait a minute, you have your 150. You don't have to come down. Well, remember, we took the payment, right? And we're going down. And now, we're following the system. We're sticking to our promises. And we're promising ourselves that we're going to bring back as much as we can, right? And so now we have a profit, so we don't have to take the 5, 6, 8, or 9 down when they hit. And let's see, will they hit? Yes, they will. How about that? Yes, it's a 10, hard 10. We didn't get the hard 10 or hard 4 yet. But just like that, you might say, whoa, that would have been $50, and now it's nothing, right? You're not getting anything for that hit. Well, you have to think we're putting our profit on the table. We're getting a hard 10, right? And now we're back to where we were, and you might say, that you lost $50. No, we didn't lose $50. We racked $50. Remember, we racked it last time. And now we're back to where we started. There's another 12 midnight. All right, let's get anything to hit at this point. All right, there's the other side, the 2 rolls. How about a 7? No, look at that. We were primed and ready, and that is what happens sometimes. All right, so for this one, everything falls, right? And it's time to count it up. We would normally do all the shooters, all 10 shooters, but like I said, I'm gonna extend this video in the members only section, and we'll extend and see how this ends in the member only section. So thanks for watching. I hope you like this. The Promise Keeper, it's really a promise to yourself that you're gonna keep your bankroll and not get too reckless and just press without bringing stuff back and regressing, because that's what it's all about. Press, collect, regress. A lot of people forget the regress part, all right? Hey, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like, and watch this video, and I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon. See ya.